Friends, let's talk.
You see a woman in Nigeria now, she will be 35. Some of them are even 40, 41, 42. They are still single. Fine girls. They are still single. Why? Ogini? What is happening?
Welcome to the Minister from Nigeria YouTube channel. I'm your host, Joseph Udo, and in today's new episode, I have a very good one for you today. I'll be reacting to Big Brother Nigeria's real talk about why Nigerian women are single, even at their very old age.
It's hard to find a decent man in Nigeria.
First, don't get fooled by this victim mentality tactic, which Nigerian women love to use. Look at her. It's hard to find a decent man in Nigeria. They take zero responsibility for their actions. If you're saying it's difficult to find a decent man in Nigeria, that's your fault. To get married in Nigeria as a woman, you only need one man. So you're telling me that you're 35, you're 40, and during the days of your youth, you couldn't find one decent man? Then you must ask, what did you do with your youth? When you were at the prime of your beauty, what happened to you while you were in your 20s? But she's going to blame it on the fact that it's difficult to find decent men in Nigeria. You must beware and take note of the fact that they love to play victim and they take zero accountability for their actions.
And it boils down to what? We have a culture of, there's always something better. There's always something better. There's always something better.
I had a story of this one friend I had. He had this girl who was dating. At the time they were dating, she was a virgin. This guy was ambitious, hardworking, always grinding. All of a sudden, this girl was talking to this other one guy. He was treating this girl like a literal queen, like she was a princess. Before this guy knew it, so she dumped this guy and went with this other one guy. Now, this guy she dumped, let's say his name is David. Now David found a new other girl. This new girl started treating him well, treating him good. Now, David and this girl, this new girl, they are married. David is doing good, traveling out of the country. Last I checked, David was in UK. This new girl that he got married to, taking care of this girl. Now, this one girl who dumped him in the past, she at the age of 35, now comes, start playing the victim. The anti-sex men in Nigeria, no, all men are trash. That's a lie. You had your chance. Perhaps you've been destined. Maybe life was actually going to be fortunate to you to give you this one decent man in life, and the other men you meet in life are going to be players and trash. But then this one guy that life has destined for you to be with, you fumbled it, treated him bad. It's your responsibility to be accountable for your own actions. If you find a good guy, hang on to him, and you'll be going around on podcasts crying and whining, whereas it was all your fault. You fumbled it. Next, most Nigerian women are literally gold diggers. Gold diggers, that's what they are. When they are young, they have this mindset, this mentality of entitlement. They feel so entitled, perhaps of some beauty which they have. They have this entitlement mentality of going around and not being you. Before they have to see you, they must be you. And their attention, their presence is only given to the highest bidder. And they find out they are 30 years old, 35 years old. They've hit the wall, nobody wants them anymore. Then they wake up, forget the fact that they had all sorts of decent men coming their way when they were younger. They failed to capitalize on it. Instead, they were looking for the person who could pay them the highest amount of money. Whereas those guys weren't even interested in them. Then you wake up at 35 and blame it on men and say, they have no decent men. That's a lie, that's false. You were a gold digger when you were young. You wasted your prime years, now you're single and it's your fault. Next, the amount of ego these girls have these days. I think it's also worsened because of the fact that we have social media. The unlimited attention they get from social media, from Instagram. We have all these shapes, liking their pictures, giving them unlimited validation, sliding into their DMs, acting like fools. When you see a girl who's young and she's getting all this attention, of course her ego will be inflated. They have this super inflated ego thinking, I am the greatest. And then they think they are too good for the normal decent man. You hear them say things like this: if a man doesn't make a specific amount of money, if a man doesn't drive a specific kind of car, the man has no chances. If the man doesn't have this, if the man doesn't have that, who are you to make all these demands? The ego which they possess, their ego is so huge and so mighty, whereas they haven't achieved anything in life. And the fact that they carry such immense ego is literally mind-blowing. She thinks because of some beauty which she has, she must monetize her beauty, and then her beauty gives her ego, and it's just an endless loop. Her beauty, she gets validation for her beauty, she gets more ego, more validation, more ego, more validation, more ego. Drop your ego, realize you're doing nothing, you're lucky that you even have some beauty in the first place. And beauty is even relative. Beauty is subjective. Just because you're in Nigeria, you have some beauty. Realize there are millions of beautiful women out there. You're just a normal, random, average girl. Drop your ego, realize you're nothing, and you'll find a decent man. Next, most of these Nigerian girls are not wives. Most of them are nothing but prostitutes, harlots, and sluts. Imagine looking for a decent man. A decent man also has some standards. You see a man who's worked all his life, he sacrificed comfort, he's grinded, especially if you live in Nigeria, it's difficult. You've grinded, you've worked so hard. And then asks you about your past relationships, and you're telling him your body count is 50, your body count is 100. No, you're a freaking prostitute. If you've wasted your life sleeping around because you think in your youth you must go around, sleep with as many men as you want, and then after you've had all your fun, you think now you can come and you're entitled to a decent man. No, go down the street, go to Keja, go and stand on the side of the road, because that's what you've done with your life. You've done your Odoshoism, you've slept with men, you've gotten paid, now you want a decent man. No, that's not fair. A decent man deserves a decent woman. If you as a Nigerian woman are going to be a slut and be a prostitute, then you have to be ready for the consequences of your actions, and don't come out saying there aren't decent men in Nigeria. No, there are decent men, but the decent men don't want you. Why? Because you're a prostitute. You dress like a prostitute, you act like a prostitute, your mindset is the mindset of a prostitute. Change your ways, stop being a slut, stop sleeping around, and maybe you actually find a decent man. I would also say, literally almost impossible that a Nigerian girl who's 35, 40 years old has lived through her life, and at 41, no decent man crossed her path. Not one. That's literally a lie. That's literally impossible for you to live that long as a Nigerian girl and not meet at least one decent man. It's your responsibility to be aware of a decent man that crosses your path and know when to actually stop playing games and love that with decent man. It is impossible, literally impossible, for you to be that old and never have met a decent man. These Nigerian women have this unreasonable standard which they place on men. They are the guy, good decent guy. But in their mind, they are thinking, I can do better. Say again, is 25 years old, she has a man. I can do better. She jumps in, goes for another guy. Perhaps maybe he has more money. But this guy who has no money doesn't even care about you. That one uses you, dumps you. Then she goes, meets another guy. Maybe the next one she finds is decent. Then she thinks again, this one isn't that handsome. I want a guy who's more handsome and has more money. Dumps that guy again, not realizing the fact that she's losing her prime years. And youth, she's wasting her life. Why? Because she thinks she can do better. No, you can't do better. If you find a decent man, hold on to him with your life, because the pool of decent men isn't that very big. And decent men, real decent men, have real standards for their lives. So if you find a decent man, hold on to him and stop thinking you can do better, because in reality, you can't. And even the other guys you're aiming for, you're not the only one who wants them. Other girls as well want these higher level guys which you're running after. If you find a true decent guy who really cares about you, stay with him, build with him, and maybe you won't wake up one day at the age of 40 and think they are all the decent men. They are the decent men in Nigeria. It's men's fault, but it's no fault of mine.